Guys, greens are kind of like women. If you want to score, you gotta learn how to read them.
Frustrated with missing putts and feel like you're reading greens all wrong? Well, you're not alone. In this video, we're going to talk about green reading mistakes that most golfers don't even know that they're making. So stay tuned, because these truths about green reading will help you finally master the greens and lower your scores for good. First truth about green reading that a lot of you probably don't realize is that poor green reading causes you to develop stroke problems and stroke mistakes. Research has proven that 70% of amateurs and even 20% of PGA Tour pros underread putts. So you should aim the putt 12 inches to the right of the hole, but you only aim it 8. And you're missing it to the low side. That happens over and over. We all see it all the time for amateurs. So what do we start doing over a period of time? Our green reading mistake of under-reading the putt, our brain knows the task is to roll the ball into the hole, and so we develop a stroke that pushes the ball out to one side or the other to compensate for our under-read. And then the ball goes in occasionally and we think, yay, we've got it figured out. No, we had the wrong read and we had a bad stroke that pushed it out there. Yeah, the ball got in the hole, so mission accomplished. But guess what? On the next hole, we underread it on the opposite side, and that push stroke causes us to miss. Or we then get in the habit, if we underread it, we get in the habit, or overread it from the other side, we get in the habit of a pull stroke and a hook stroke. So bad green reading causes a stroke bias. And then we start adjusting and making changes to our stroke, and now that causes a green reading bias. And that's why so many of you are so confused and inconsistent and lack confidence on the greens. Some days you putt pretty well, and other days you couldn't roll it into a hole the size of the ocean. It's because you don't know how to read the greens, and you've let that start to impact and influence your stroke. Or you're a halfway decent green reader, but your stroke has a problem. The good news is I've got a solution for both of those. I've created a series of online courses, and in that course we do first how to putt the right way, which teaches you how to develop a stroke and a routine that consistently rolls the ball on your intended line. And then we do the second course, Become a Green Reading Guru, teaches you how to read the greens so you know what that line is. And also it covers controlling speed and distance, where we're going to get to in this video in just a moment. Link to those courses in the video description, with a discount on either one or a discount on both as you want them as a package. Check it out. Learn how to roll the ball straight up your target line, read the greens, and see what that line is. The second truth is most golfers don't know and understand how to aim their putts. They don't realize how balls break on the green, and they don't realize how much balls break, and so they pick bad starting lines. And bad starting lines cause them to miss the putt high or low, or hit it too firm or too soft. It creates all kinds of problems, which compounds it. That's why people are inconsistent and they get frustrated. Let's talk about how to fix your starting lines now. Golfers don't know where to aim. I hear people all the time talk about, oh, that's a ball outside, or a cup outside, or 2 cups outside. What does that mean? No, be honest about it. I've got some graphics here. Is 1 cup outside, is it this? Or is it this? Or is it this? Or is it something else? If you put this picture that I have on the screen now in front of a bunch of golfers and ask them which one of those is a cup outside, you'll get different answers and even arguments, because people don't know where they're aiming. Point here is you need a green reading system that gives you a specific spot or target to aim. And then you need to learn how to line up that target with an intermediate distance or an intermediate target, just a short distance out in front of your ball so you can see it in your peripheral vision. And then you need to know how to line up those two and roll the ball on that target and trust it. One of the things you can do to pick better start lines is read a putt, make certain that you have the right line, and then go out and put a tee at that target. That's where I'm going to start the ball. That's my start line. And see how much that putt breaks. Did you choose the right start line or line? No. If you didn't, well then move that tee, but work on a target and get in the habit and get used to standing behind your ball, looking at the hole and seeing, wow, I'm starting it here, but it breaks that much as it nears the hole. You'll be surprised by that, but it'll help you learn to read greens much quicker. Another thing you can do is use a string drill. It really helps you see how putt breaks. You look at a putt and you go, wow, I have to start it on this line and it's going to break that much to go to the hole. Yeah, it is. But learning to see and visualize that will make you so much better at reading greens. You'll hole a lot more putts and have closer misses. So try those two things. You need a very specific target that measures a distance from the center of the hole. Because what that does is that gives you, the hole is 4 1/4 inches wide. That means you've got a little bit more than 2 inches margin of error on either side for missing your green read a little bit, or not hitting your target line a little bit, or being off with the speed a little bit. But you've got to know how to pick a specific target and aim at that specific target. Speaking of speed, the thing that most golfers don't know and realize is there is a perfect speed for every putt. I hear people all the time out on the green and they're talking about, oh, this is left edge firm, or this is right edge but just die it into the front of the cup, or oh, this is just smack it right off the back wall, or smack it right off of the flag stick. And let me ask you a question. Are you really good enough at hitting your line? And are you really, honestly, good enough at controlling speed that you can hit this putt uphill at firm, which is just firm enough to start it outside the hole and it breaks in? Or can you hit it downhill at die speed so that it's just enough speed to fall into the front of the cup? Do you really control your speed that well? The pros don't, and they don't even try. Now on putts 3 feet or so, most of them try to charge it in straight into the cup. But once you get past that, they're all hitting an optimal speed, which is a speed that's the best chance of going in the hole. Research has been done about how fast a ball is rolling, and that gives it the cup a capture speed where it's the most likely to go in. Back in the 70s, all the research on that proved and documented that it was about a speed that if you missed the putt would go about 18 inches past the hole. Grasses have changed since then. Greens are a lot faster now. Even the bad greens we play on sometimes are a lot faster than they were back in the 70s. Today is proven and documented. There's tons of research. The optimal speed that makes the cup the largest, if you miss a little bit to the right or left, keeps you from having lip outs, is a speed that if you miss the putt will go 12 inches past the hole. So that should be your target speed on every putt. Get away from this, oh, I'm going to hit this one on this line firm, and oh, I'm going to hit this one on this line soft. No, just make it your speed to go 1 foot past the hole. Because most people don't realize or fail to understand, at least it appears when they're out on the course, that you have to blend line and speed. For any putt of any length or distance, there are multiple target lines you can start on that will go into the hole. People ask me all the time out on the course, so John, what do you see in this putt? How much is it going to break? And my answer is always, well, it depends on how fast you roll it. Because a putt that's rolling faster, gravity will have less effect on that because of inertia and Newton's laws there. And so a putt that's rolling faster will break less. A putt that's rolling slower will break more. You need to have a perfect speed that you're trying to hit every putt. That's 1 foot past. And then you need to practice reading greens to match that speed and blending those. By the way, the course I mentioned earlier goes into great detail, more than 50 video lessons, and a lot of them deal with blending line and speed and understanding how balls break. You really need to check that out. So no more of this hitting one putt this speed and another putt that speed and trying to change your speed all the time. I don't mean to offend you, but you're not that good. You don't control speed and distance that well. If you believe that you do, then you go out and get 5 or 6 feet away from the hole and put 2 tees 6 inches apart, and you hit 10 balls in a row that stop exactly between those 2 tees. That's the difference on that length of putt in make, die, or charge speed. You're not that good at controlling speed or distance. Learn to pick a distance that gets the ball 1 foot past the hole every time. Make that your goal, and then blend your green reading with that. I could include a whole separate video on how important it is to blend line and speed, but we did several lessons on that in the online course. And the fourth one is one of my pet peeves because it's a myth that is absolutely false. It's the myth or the lie that green reading slows down the game. Anytime I do a video on the channel on reading greens and teach a green reading method, I get in the comments 2 or 3 people say, oh, now we're going to have a 5-hour golf round or a 6-hour golf round. That doesn't have to be that way. In fact, if your green reading slows down the game, it's either because you are a slow player or you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to read greens. I use a green reading method on every putt in every round that has me step off the distance from the hole to the ball, walk all the way around the putt to get the line, look about 15 feet off the line on the low side to get how much slope is there, do some quick math in my head to pick a target out beside the hole, then pick an intermediate target about 8 or 9 inches in front of my ball, set up and roll the ball on that target. And it does not slow down play. I play with a group of guys. We routinely play in 3 hours and 20 minutes. We'll have a 7 o'clock tee time and be in the clubhouse in time to order breakfast, which has a 10:30 cutoff. Reading greens is only slow if you're a slow player or you don't know what you're doing, which means what you really need to do is learn how to read greens, practice reading greens, practice controlling your speed and distance so that you get it right, so that you can get it done quickly. When I'm out on the greens or on the course playing with my playing partners, by the time it's my time to putt, I'm ready to go. I step up to the ball, go through my routine and stroke the putt. And by the way, because you're reading greens and controlling speed and distance better, you're taking fewer putts, which actually speeds up the game. So don't make the excuse, oh, it slows down play, so I just go out and don't really focus on a green reading method. That's BS, and it's costing you strokes, and you ought to just admit that to yourself and be honest with yourself. So you need to learn how to putt the right way, how to roll the ball straight up the target line every time with your putter face square to that target line. Then you need to learn how to read greens to a very specific target so that you know I can roll the ball straight up my line, I can read the green, now I know what that line is, and aim to that target. And then you go out and practice reading the greens using that method. You go out and actually practice and work on controlling the speed and distance. By the way, in the course I mentioned earlier, I teach you a couple of secret tricks that the pros use to manage speed and distance. But you work on that and practice it so that you can do it quickly out on the course. And if you do this, your confidence will grow, your comfort level will grow. You'll start to not feel nervous and unsure of yourself on your green read and on your putts, and you'll make a lot more and your misses will be a lot closer. And if you like that kind of thing, then check out the course that I mentioned. Give this video a thumbs up, a comment, share it with one of your buddies. Take the easy tap in on that subscribe button. Check out this video on the screen now, and here's to you making more putts.